Hello, are you here to debate?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, you here to debate?
Sure.
All right, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
My name's Liam.
Okay,
I'm 20,
okay, that's two of the three questions.
and I'm a male.
Okay, so what are your pronouns?
E.
There we go, thank you. Which topic on the board did you disagree with?
I disagree with all of them.
Okay, which topic on the board did you want to talk about?
I would like to touch on all of them, but I'll do the first one.
Okay, what about the first one?
I think it's confusing that. So trans men and trans women, they're men and women. Then why do you need to call them trans? That's what I'm confused about.
Sure.
I think it's kind of a.
Let me ask you.
I think it's kind of
Uh-huh.
It's used for social justice. I feel like.
Okay. Let me ask you a question to test the logic on that. Are white women
Okay.
women?
Yes,
Why do we have to call them white women?
because they were born with XX chromosomes.
No. Why do we have to denote that they are white? If
Because
they're
you can
women?
look at their skin.
Because there's a marked difference between them and another type of woman, right? So if we're going to compare and
What do you
contrast
mean?
them to,
So you think
is there a
that
difference
a
between
white
white
woman and
women and
black
black?
woman, they're not a woman? They're not
No,
women?
is there are there different types of women? Is the question I'm asking.
No. Well, there's different
No.
personalities of women, but a woman is a woman.
So a white woman and a black woman are exactly the same?
Well, they're the same gender and sex, yes, but they're not the same pigment of color, I guess. Yeah,
Okay. What is an adjective?
just to describe something.
Describe what specifically?
A noun.
Okay. So when we place the word white on the word woman, does it make them like some new gender, or is it just describing that noun in a specific way?
It describes that noun in a specific way.
Great. And the way that that would be describing the noun is based on the race of that person, correct?
Yeah, true.
Great. So when I place the word trans in front of the word woman, I am now using an adjective to describe the noun. And what I'm doing is describing that noun in a way that touches on that person's gender identity.
I agree with you on that. I don't disagree with you on that.
Okay, then trans women are women.
Well, they aren't biologically a woman or a man.
Nope. There's no such thing as a biological
you
woman or
can
man.
say that all you want, but it's not going to make you any more right by just lying. I mean,
Yeah, so woman is
what do you
not a
think? Okay, can I
biological
ask you
term.
a
It's a
question?
social.
Can I ask
Just
you
really,
a kind of
sure,
off-topic
sure. I
question?
just want to make sure you know, woman is a sociological term, not a biological term.
Did you make that up?
Nope. Woman is a sociological category. That's just how the word is used. It's not based
Well,
on. It's not
I
based
don't
on
know
some.
I'm confused. Like,
About what?
what world you're living in? When has
This one.
woman and man not been biological?
Since the inception of the word, since their etymology of the words.
So you can change your gender whenever you want, or do you need to feel a certain? I'm really confused on what qualifies a trans
what does
man
that
and a
have to
trans.
do
Do
with?
you have
What
to?
does that have to do
Can
with
I ask you?
changing
Can I
your
ask a
gender?
question?
I just don't know
What was that?
I don't know what that has to do with changing your gender.
Because can I just be a woman if I decide I wake up tomorrow I'm not in the right body?
Well, that's not what trans people do. So,
I'm not saying that's what they do. I'm asking a question.
can you just wake up and be a woman if your gender identity
If I
aligns with
feel
your
like
schema
it,
on the female sex? Yeah, that would be the only way, in my opinion.
so to you, a woman is someone who aligns with societal norms, correct?
It's somebody whose gender identity aligns with their internal schema on the female sex.
Okay. So a girl who acts like a boy is a boy.
Nope. She would be a girl who acts like a boy.
What would a tomboy be to you? A
A girl
tomboy,
who
you know, a
acts
girl
like a
who.
boy. A girl who acts in
You just defined a
accordance.
trans woman as someone
Nope.
who affirms themselves with that
Somebody who's
social.
what? Somebody whose gender identity, which is an internal sense of self, aligns with their schema on the
You said,
female
okay,
sex.
right there. Internal sense of self.
Yes.
What even is that?
Identity. Identity is an internal sense of self.
So I can wake up tomorrow and internally self-describe myself as a woman.
Well, it would be innate. So it would be something that you wouldn't like do. It would be just be something that you are. So if you woke up and you just are feeling like a woman, you can't
is that
consciously do it.
It's only for gender. It only is for gender and sex that I can do that with, not like any other.
There are other types of identities that can be internalized, but gender's like the biggest one that's like an innate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I just disagree with you fundamentally on what a woman is.
But based on what?
Because you're basing it on society.
No,
society being the woman, and I mean,
your
you know what?
definition.
This might even be like, because I'm coming in this kind of from I used to be an atheist, like a little bit of. I used to be a really strong atheist. I used to believe there's no God, but I've kind of come to realize like there has to be a higher power. There has to be a maker of us.
Why?
Because it's so perfect, man.
I would not call humans perfect at all. We can't even hold our heads up until we're how many months old? I wouldn't call the universe perfect. We have hurricanes and tornadoes. These are all imperfect things that happen on the planet. Like when you say the universe is perfect, what do you mean by that? Well, religious people do this all the time. What do you mean by the universe is perfect? What are you saying?
I'm not here to debate. I'm just starting to come to religion, so I'm not an expert. So I'm already like, I just want to say that I'm not an I can't tell you. I'm not a good debater on religion. And
yeah, but you've used your religion to substantiate that trans women cannot be women. So you'd have to defend this now.
I'm not saying they can't be. I'm saying what makes them woman. And you're saying from societal norms, and I'm like, that makes no sense.
Okay,
because
then let's just boil down. Let's just see where you're at. To you, what is a woman?
I think we know where we're at.
I don't think we do.
Where we're at.
I don't think we do. What is a woman?
A person who has XX chromosomes.
Okay. Now, can there be women who do not possess XX chromosomes?
I don't believe so, honestly.
Okay, beautiful. Can you see my screen still at all? Can you see the stream?
No, I'm not looking at your thing.
Okay, then I'll just read this to you. There have
go ahead.
Been examples of women who were born with a pure 46 XY karyotyping, meaning they have XY chromosomes, who have not only been born this way but given birth. So can women have this is a case study. Like a case study.
And all case studies are correct.
Well, a case study. Do you know what a case study is?
It can be correct, but it doesn't make it correct.
Wait, do you know what a case study is?
Correct. So you're not
do you know what a
good
do you know what a case homie, do you know what a case study is? Do you know what a case study is?
I mean, I couldn't define it to you, but I know what I could assume.
So when we look at case studies in medicine, they are reports of a situation that happened. So a doctor reports on a medical case that they had, and then people study that case. So yes, this is a thing that has happened. There is no lie here.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is true love to you? What is love to you?
What does that have to relevance?
It's just a question.
I don't know. Haven't thought about it.
I would put some thought into it if I were you, because I think true love is being able to look at someone in the eye and tell them the cold-hearted truth. I think that telling
you haven't been able to provide me any truth.
Hey, okay, I know you feel like you're this way, and you know what? Maybe you are that way. I think the real truth is telling you, okay, you're young and you're confused.
You haven't provided any truth, my friend. You've quite literally provided no truth. You said women can only have. You said women can only have XX. Stop talking. Stop talking.
You cannot become a man.
Stop talking.
If you were born a man, you cannot become a woman.
Okay.
That is the truth.
Great.
I'm sorry to burst your little bubble you have going on, but that's the truth, man.
Bro, these people don't know when to fuck to shut up, dude. Jesus Christ. You told me, let's just analyze what happened in the debate. You told me women can only be XX chromosomes. I provided you a true medical fact that some women can be born with a pure 46 XY karyotyping. Stop talking. Stop talking.
A man can get pregnant.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
I don't care about your case study. A man can get pregnant. Answer that, yes or no.
Here's what's hilarious. Here's what's the
You
funniest
can't
shit in the
answer that
world.
question, bro.
Here's
You're a
what's
bad
here's
faith.
what's
You're
here.
a
I
bad
couldn't
faith
hear you because I
radical
muted you.
left. You're a bad faith radical left,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Have
This
fun
is
having
kind
no
of
views and being
this is
unemployed for the
kind
rest
of
of your
what
life, buddy.
happens.
Good
This
night.
is kind of what happens. Crash out. This is what happens. These people think that they have a scientific understanding of the human body. When I prove that I know more scientifically about the human body than they do, they crash out. Liam crashed out because he couldn't defend his point. My point is that women can have XY chromosomes. So, trans women have XY chromosomes. Why can't they be women? It's unbelievable, bro. Like, please, like, if you're going to call in, don't crash out because you were proven wrong on something. Because that's quite literally all that happened.